All right, welcome to Fast Cars, Fast Money, where we're going to be breaking down the Cup race at Course of the Americas today. And we're just going to hop right into it. So there's not a lot of laps. We're not really going after dominators today. We're just looking for place differential points and then guys that can finish in the top 10, top 15. So if you've looked at any of the data and all the road course data and whatnot, we've kind of looked at some of the previous road course information and data and looked at the practice times and qualifying from today. It's tough to tell if we're going to have rain today or not, but if we do, we'll talk about that as we start going through the drivers and who has rain and who doesn't.
All right, so let's get into
Anything else,
this.
Kev?
Yeah, so in this 10K range, I think Martin Truex is going to be your guy today, starting sort of mid-pack. Didn't necessarily qualify or practice the best, but it's Truex in 2021 at a road course. I don't really see any reason why he shouldn't finish top 10 as long as he doesn't have any mechanical issues. Next to Truex, I think Chase Elliott's going to be your guy. Comes in a little bit cheaper, offers a little bit of PD starting eighth. Won 4 out of the last 5 road course races. Hendrick's been fast all year. Chase has been running top 10 a bunch this year. I don't really see any reason why Chase shouldn't definitely be a top 5, and he should be competing to win this race all day.
Yeah, in the 10K range here, definitely the first two guys, Truex and Elliott, they're the guys that we like to always go to when we come to the road course races because they're generally the ones that are running in the top or leading the race or running in the top 3 most of the time. But Larson has shown pretty good speed this week, and we actually get to see him back on a road course for the first time since 2019. So I have no problems touching him there at 10,200 starting second. Like we said, you don't really need dominator points, but if Kyle Larson's going to finish and win the race, then you're probably going to want him in your lineup. And then to touch on Denny Hamlin here, starting 19th. We like Denny Hamlin. He's good at road courses, good in the Joe Gibbs equipment and whatnot. But he was having power steering issues during qualifying, and they're going to be dropping to the rear. So we're not saying completely get off of him, but I would definitely lower my exposure to him if you're in a 20 max or whatever. And then moving on down into the 9K range here, love Kyle Busch. He's now had a full practice and qualifying in an Xfinity car and a race in an Xfinity car and practice and qualifying in a Cup car. So he's had a ton of practice on this track, and we know what Kyle Busch can do when he has a ton of practice. So I love Kyle Busch this week, starting 4th. He should be able to get move up a few spots and fight for the win this week. And then moving on down at William Byron, starting 5th. I like him again this week, and I believe his top 10 streak will continue, and he should hang around there. And he could also fight for a win today as well.
Yeah, this race just kind of screams Kyle Busch. A lot of practice. He ran the Xfinity, won the Xfinity. It's fast in the rain, fast on the dry track, and this is just has Kyle Busch written all over it. It's been a while since we've seen Kyle Busch just dominate a weekend with a little bit of practice. So it very well could be this weekend. Another driver I want to touch on be Joey Logano. I don't really like him as a person and a driver in general, but he's been fast in qualifying, fast in practice, and rain and on a dry track. So I think we'd be not doing what we're supposed to be doing if we didn't tell you he's, of high interest today and has a chance to go out there and win this race, much as it pains me to say that. And then, like Rich said, I'm going to go with William Byron as well. He's just been consistent and fast all year, and not much more you could ask for out of a driver. And starting 5th, so it doesn't necessarily offer you a lot of PD there, but I don't see why he shouldn't be able to finish top 5 and compete for the win. So now moving down into this 8K range, I think AJ Almond Digger's the clear favorite out of this group. He ran really well yesterday. He's just a road course ringer. Qualified well. Glad he's starting kind of middle of that top 10. So he offers you a little bit upside. Shouldn't have an issue finishing around there. And then somebody else in this range that I'm probably going to have a little exposure on, depending on how my line works out, would be Kurt Busch. He has a little potential for you to move up there. he's pretty consistent all year as well. Definitely going to gain you spots. Probably not going to hurt you too much, and he always tends to surprise and show up and run top 5 sometimes, and this is the week to do it.
Yeah, I agree. In this range, Almond Digger is probably the best play. Like you said, he's a road course ringer, and these quality cars, whenever they run in the Cup Series, they're always fast and they're always able to compete. So, and in the early qualifying session, he was the fastest, but when they ran the next 12 the top 12, they had to run again to see who would get the pole. Reddick ended up beating him out, and a few other guys got him. But I still think he's going to be a threat for this race today. He might not have enough, but he should have no problem staying up there in the top 7. And at $8,500, that should be plenty to pay off. But I will touch on Austin Cendrick, and he's driving the 5th Penske car this week, and he raced well yesterday. He's a great road course racer, and he's got great track position starting off. Don't mind playing him this week, but just remember he could kill your line since he's starting 3rd, and if he has an issue, he's going to be falling to the back, and it's really going to kill your line. So be cognizant of that when you're playing some of these guys that are starting in the front. We definitely want place differential points, but you definitely need finishing potential as well. So you got to kind of finagle that, maneuver that around in your lineups. And then if we jump on down here to the 7K range, not really too interested in a lot of these guys. There's some all right place differential plays in this range. If you look at, Almirola, even Eric Jones and Michael McDowell, they offer some place differential points and everything. But this range isn't one of my favorites. And the last guy I'll touch on here is Colt Custer. He raced yesterday. And I'll say this about all the guys that raced yesterday. They have a little bit more experience on the track than everybody else. So they will you'll likely see them probably finishing a few spots ahead of where they normally would at any other road course because they have more experience than some of the other drivers in the field.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Rich. That 7K range, there's no one that really jumps out to me. If I follow one of those guys, I'm not going to be, afraid to necessarily go with the Custer and Almirola or McDowell. But, personally, I'd rather just drop down here a little bit to Chris Buescher, $6,900, offers you a little bit of salary break from them. He is having some brake issues, so I know he's dropping to the back, but starting 28th, I don't really think that's going to hurt him all that much. Offers a ton of PD upside for you. He's been running well all year, tends to run good on these types of tracks, and I think he definitely move up, definitely get you probably a top 20 and those much needed point differential points. Moving on down here a little bit, Chase Briscoe. It's another guy that's going to offers you a ton of PD upside, and something you really need here. Offers you kind of that value play, so you'll be able to fit in a couple more of those higher tier guys that are going to be able to go out and compete for the win, and you have Briscoe there to help get you those PD points that you need to really have a chance at that takedown.
Yeah, I agree. In the 6K range, Chris Buescher is probably my favorite play. He is dropped in the back. They made unimproved adjustments. They were having some sort of a brake issue. I would imagine they'll get it fixed before the race starts. We'll probably tweet out if we find out any more information about that. Who is it? I do like Daniel Suarez. He's actually really good on road courses. The Trackhouse team has been pretty solid all year. I wish he didn't qualify as well as he did because it's going to limit his upside a little bit. It might lower his ownership. So he could end up being a solid GPP play, but he should have no problem running inside the top 20 and then should be able to get a top 15 finish by the end of this race. And then Ryan Newman starting 34th. We all know how hard it is to pass Ryan Newman. He's never been the greatest road course racer, but starting 34th, he's going to move up some spots and he should be able to pay off his $6,700 price tag. And then the last guy in the 6K range that I'd like to talk about here is Ross Chastain. He also ran yesterday, and as I've said about all the other guys that ran yesterday, they got a little bit more experience on this track than everybody else. And even though the Xfinity guys didn't really run in the rain as much, there was definitely still some wet spots out on the track, and he practiced yesterday in the rain, so he's going to have a little bit of experience on that. So I have no problem touching him. And if we get under the 6K range, the only guy I'm really looking at a lot is Ty Dillon. And I think Ty Dillon has only run one other race this year in the Cup Series, and that was at the road course at Daytona where he finished in the top 20, I believe. So I've got no problem playing him this week. He's not getting many opportunities, so he's got to take advantage of the one he's got. And I think he should move up and be a good PD play by the end of the race.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Rich. The only other driver I might touch on is going to be Davidson. He usually tends to get a little bit of talked about a bit here when we come to these road tracks. He's probably going to be relatively high owned, but I don't really see him offering you much upside here. But he's cheap, so it's going to be popular, and it's either going to more likely to hurt you than it's not, because I don't see him moving up all that much. You got anything else, Rich?
No, just Quinn Half starting dead last, and he's $4,500 bare minimum. If you're looking for a punt to pay up for some of the, if you want to stack both Truex and Hamlin, and then maybe get Kyle Busch or Chase Elliott up there, you're gonna have to dip down and get one of these punt guys. And Quinn Half being, the bare minimum and starting dead last, he should gain you a few points. He's not going to win your contest for you, but you expect the other guys to do that. So. If you want access to the spreadsheet or anything, go to @FastCarsFM. You can find it over on Twitter. Please like and subscribe to the video and leave comments or whatever, and we'll answer any questions you guys have. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. Good luck today.
Good luck today.